Wow, I wish there was some way for me to talk about 3 of the best wax jackets in the world and tell everybody about. Oh, I could just tell you, YouTube. How's it going, everyone? Huckberry, Filson, and Barbour. They all cost very different amounts. They all have different features. They all have different benefits if you go with said company. And especially when we get to the Barbour at the end, that is just, the jacket's not even built for what the other 2 jackets are for. So there's a lot to talk about and a lot to go over. Before we can truly understand what makes the difference between each of these jackets, we have to know what makes the same. And it's very simple. These are all wax canvas jackets. Wax canvas, or just canvas, is a plain weave. That is the tightest weave of fabric that you can get, which helps obviously for 2 ways. One, you are spreading wax on the jacket, and you want it to be water resistant, so you want a very tight water resistant fabric. PSA, don't wash your jacket. And I will explain why you should not through the means of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich out of your jacket, but the person that made the jacket is able to put peanut butter in between the bread. It's not the best example, but you can put peanut butter on the top and the bottom if you're nuts, but the original brand, Huckberry, or Martexan in this case, they can impregnate wax on the inside of the jacket. And when you wash it, you pull out the impregnated wax, and then the brands can no longer impregnate the wax for you, so you should never, ever do that. By the way, if you're interested in any of the clothes that I'm wearing today, check out the carrot link in my bio. Today, obviously, I'm gonna be wearing 3 different jackets, but also I'm wearing the Rover pants from Huckberry, which in all honesty, oh wow, they're also plain weave, but they're becoming my favorite pants. I've been wearing them more than jeans lately, believe it or not. You can also check out these boots that I got from Milwaukee Boot Company. These are the Shorewood Chelsea boots. They're really cool. They're pull-up leather, so they age like crazy. I also made a comment that the toe points up, and Robert from Milwaukee Boots told me that is to add more support to the toe as you're walking. So I found that very fascinating. Thank you, Milwaukee Boots, for sending these to me for free. And sorry, also last thing, this video is sponsored by Surfshark. Jacket number 1, the Huckberry X Flint and Tinder Waxed Trucker Jacket. This jacket comes in at $298. I did a full review on this if you want to see all the nitty-gritty details of it, but if you don't know, this jacket was worn by Joel on The Last of Us. You know, in all honesty, I was watching The Last of Us and I saw Joel was wearing this jacket and I was like, holy crap, you know what that means? If Joel looked up one review to see if he was gonna like the Flint and Tinder wax jacket, he probably saw mine. It is made in the USA by Flint and Tinder, and this jacket, I would say, is for a specific man that is not me. Not saying it's a bad jacket. I would love this jacket slightly modified, but I will tell you what that is in a second. Before that, we have to go over exactly what type of fabric we are dealing with here, because it's also very lightweight. Ellie, come on. We have to go before the mushroom zombies get us. So when we're talking about this canvas, it's actually exceedingly light. It is 7 ounces lighter than Filson, which is a lot, but that is not always a bad thing because not everybody is after a super heavy jacket. I would actually argue most people would prefer this jacket over the Filson jacket unless you know what you're getting into. But this is 7-ounce waxed canvas from Martexan Mills, which is like 3 hours that way, which is pretty cool. The fabric is even made in the US. It ages almost immediately, which means there's a high wax content as compared to a high oil content. The more oil, the more the jacket kind of looks uniform. And this jacket is fully lined in polyester. There's a blanket lining on the body and a slick satin polyester lining on the inside sleeves. That will mean that this jacket breathes less, but waxed canvas really doesn't breathe anyway, so take it or leave it. Don't worry, I made a mistake last video in the actual review of this. There is a wool-lined version from Huckberry, but it comes in dramatically more limited quantity, so you have to sign up for notifications to get that one. Not even trying to plug Huckberry, you just won't get one. The actual construction of this jacket, spot on. There's bar tacks where there need to be bar tacks, like at this pocket corner. You have flat felt seams over the jacket. The stitching edge tolerance seems fantastic. It's also a $300 jacket, so that makes sense, but quality is there. There are different staple lengths with cotton. The longer staple, it's usually silky or smooth and stronger. I would also assume it could affect the tightness of the weave. I don't know by what factor, again, it could be a 1% difference, but if I had to guess, I would say this is a shorter staple cotton that is also unsinged, so a mix of both. But it's a mix, it's always a blend. It's not purely short staple, it's not merely medium staple, it's not mirror, it's not, what was the word I was using before? It's a blend of all that, so I would think there is more short staple than long staple in this, but I'm not positive. If you need to be reassured, Rogue Territory, Free Note Cloth, any brand that makes their clothes end-to-end in America and they use wax cotton are probably going through Martexan. They are basically the flagship wax cotton producer in the US, so you have nothing to worry about there. However, the one little gripe that I have has to do with fit. This jacket is cut for a longer body, like a longer torso, longer arms. It's not too long for me. I feel like it's a very fashionable length, but I like things with more of a crop. I like things that fall where this sleeve does, which is cuffed. So it is a longer jacket, but they do also make a tall version, so it really is cut for anybody. Next up, the Filson tin cloth short-lined cruiser jacket, coming in at $350. This video is brought to you by Surfshark. What is a VPN, you may be wondering? Well, a VPN is essentially like pants for your internet browsing. Would you ever want to have everybody just see what you're browsing on the internet, especially if you're browsing your bank details and other sensitive information? Probably not. A VPN also lets you travel the world for free, right from your computer. And really, the important part there is if you're trying to watch something on Netflix or HBO, like The Last of Us, and you live in Denmark, like my girlfriend Taylor, you need to use a VPN to say, I'm in America, and then HBO will say, okay, hello, you can watch The Last of Us now. Anyways, a VPN is great. More privacy is usually always a good thing. I close the door whenever I'm doing something private. Why wouldn't I do that on the internet? So if that's something that you're interested in, you can go to surfshark.deal/Iron Snail to get 83% off of your order and 3 extra months free. Thank you so much, Surfshark, for sponsoring this video. Couldn't buy all that wool without all of you. Link is in my description and in the comments below. Next up is the Filson Shortline Tin Cloth Cruiser 3000. This jacket is double the weight of the Huckberry jacket, so some people will like that, some people don't. You definitely always feel this jacket. The Huckberry jacket, once it warms up and the waxes are kind of softened, you kind of forget you're wearing. This, even when it is softened, you never forget. 14 ounces, I don't know where this fabric is made. It's definitely their own proprietary cloth, and something that you notice with the 14-ounce fabric is that it's so heavy that the structure is so much more pronounced of the actual threads because they're so much thicker. But this jacket is also lined with 100% cotton, and apparently it's wax cotton. I can't really tell, but this is a 6-ounce cover cloth, which is the lightest weight wax canvas that Filson makes. I mean, I believe them. It doesn't feel like it at all. It feels unwaxed, which would make sense considering that it's supposed to go over your body. Usually linings on wax jackets are borderline a must because when wax gets hot, it gets waxy. What's interesting though is that this jacket is not made in the US, it's made in Bangladesh. If you're familiar with Filson, you'll know that they're outsourcing a lot of their production from the US to other countries, definitely to save on costs, but I don't know how much this fabric costs, so I can't really give you an accurate analysis of what really is going and what is staying. Something that is interesting though, that you still can't quantify, but it does add to the story, is that there's a lot more stitching pocket details on this jacket than the Huckberry jacket. For example, obviously this has a left booby pocket, just like the Huckberry jacket, with a cover over it and everything like that, but on the right side there is this other pocket. There's hand warmer pockets, which, fun little fact, there's a little, it's hard to see, but there's a little divot here in the pockets, so that way if you put something in these pockets, it's harder to fall out. But there are those pockets which are stitched on top. But all in all, this jacket is beautiful. It's built lovely. In terms of fit, it's hard enough being a small every day in my life, but Filson makes me get an extra small. This is an extra small Filson. It does fit me perfect, but I always go extra small in Filson. Once again, 5'9", 140 pounds. Fits great. If you don't like it, eat it. Filson does have a pretty amazing lifetime guarantee, and by amazing I just mean it's an actual lifetime guarantee. If something goes wrong that shouldn't go wrong, Filson will fix it. And the reason that's pretty solid is because this pocket on my jacket, I actually tore it. This is not reinforced. The top part isn't reinforced by bar tacks, so it is definitely more susceptible to actual stress and tearing and ripping. I would send it out to Filson to get it fixed, but to be honest, like I said, I really didn't like that this pocket wasn't fully open anyways because I want to stick my phone in there. So I might even just cut the 3 stitches and just keep it as a larger pocket. This backpack, by the way, is GoRuck. It's awesome. It's very large, but whenever I need a backpack, it certainly stands up to the job. Next up is the Barbour B. All right, next up is the Barbour. Oh, no, sorry, go ahead. Just go. Next up is the Barbour Bedale. This jacket comes in at $395. It is made in Britain or England. I did a full review on this jacket already. People roasted me alive. For one, it's not Bedale, it's Bedale. I believe that's how you say it. And then this, whatever this is on the inside, I'm blanking if it's tartan or tartan. So it's one of the two on the inside, but we'll talk about that in 1 second. What's crazy about the Barbour jacket, and we'll get into the decided difference later, you know what the $50 difference between Huckberry and Filson is getting you. We're talking different wax canvas, different pocket construction, different stitching construction, such and such like that. But When you get to Barbour, you essentially, again, you add $50, but with that $50, you now get a custom zipper, a storm flap, storm cuffs, a corduroy collar that can pop all the way up, that you can also add different types of hoods to. You can also add a lining to this jacket. It's longer and has storm flaps on the hand warmer pockets, which are now at your rib level, and we have these bucket pockets at the bottom that also have little drainage holes in the bottom. The back is vented so you can lift it up to get more air through, and it's made in England. Barbour is decidedly a rain jacket. The fabric is actually 6 ounces, so it's an ounce lighter than the Huckberry jacket, and that again is just because this is supposed to be a rain jacket that you can toss over 3 seasons, if not 4, especially in England. It also has buttons that are coated buttons, so as you wear your Barbour more, not only will the wear show on the actual jacket, but the buttons will slowly scrape away to reveal a copper color, which is very cool. Very cool. Let's go, Ellie. Time to go kill a zombie. So best of luck on your journey. I'll see you all next week. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, and also one more thing. I'm posting Instagram Reels and TikToks now, so you can follow me on TikTok, The Iron Snail, or you can follow me on Instagram, The Iron Snail, or my personal account, Michael Christie _. Okay, goodbye. I'll see you all very soon.